Hey beauties, what's going on? Welcome back. Shoplife week 10 coming at you. This week was actually pretty decent. Rolling with the punches as usual, as small business does. Mostly just the past couple weeks, feel I've been rolling with a lot of punches. But let's get into it. What's going on? What's on the bench? A lot actually happened this week. We got some good Etsy sales coming in. I think traffic's starting to pick back up now that it's getting nicer out. People are willing to spend some money, which is great for this guy. So we got some couch tables coming in, and my breadboards are starting to go. By go, I mean I've been selling a couple of them, so that's nice to see. The SNES table is going just beautifully, and it is looking absolutely mint. I cannot wait to show you guys the video that's going along with this because it is detailing the whole process, start to finish, and all the stuff in between that. It's getting really close to being done. I just need to be basically just doing final sanding. I need to add the drawer, and I just need to spray and get the glass in. So it sounds like a lot, but very few details left. So I'm very excited to bring that to you when that's all done. The LED table still in the works, and the thing is kicking my butt. I found out that I had to rebuild basically the whole top because when I put the LEDs and then the acrylic on top, the LEDs are too close to the acrylic, so you basically just see lines of light coming everywhere instead of a nice diffuse light. So I had to basically make the sides thicker so there was some more gap in between there. All in all, it wasn't that bad. I got it knocked out in a few hours just to get it back to where I was. Just sucked. I had to use a little bit more material, a little more time, but I want the project to be nice. I also found out the LED problem for being able to control them all with one switch. I'm still gonna have to go with three switches, but they're analog switches, so it's not three remotes. Basically, just dimmer switches going on and off. I think those are gonna work really well. I just need to figure out kind of the layout of how it's best gonna work and how to run the wires and stuff, but I think that's going to work. I retested it with the LEDs and the acrylic. It's looking good now. I also got the Etsy updated again. So I've been putting more listings up there, duplicating listings, putting stuff in different categories. Hat racks are back up there now, basically on pre-sale. They're almost done. I just need to spray them. Like I said, this week coming up, Brennan and Liam will be out to hopefully spray those. So waiting for those. So pretty decent week for money in, money out. We kind of just been kind of even, like I said, the past couple weeks. I'm just waiting for projects to roll in with their deposits, and then the projects that I have to roll out. The SNES table is a little different because I'm doing a video there, so I know that was going to take a bit longer, but that should be getting wrapped up this week. Getting shipped out, so I'll be getting paid for that one. LED table, I'm hoping to have out as well. It's going to be getting into finishing this week, so should be getting real close. The last just few minor details, but ends up those ones taking up most of the time. But we did have a pretty okay week, so we made about 410 bucks on Etsy. Not too horrible, not too great, but like I said, starting to get into that springtime. People are starting to buy again, coming up to some other Hallmark holidays, Mother's Day, Father's Day. People are starting to look for those, so I'm hoping some sales start going up as well. My hat racks are back on there, and those were a really big sale for me last year, so I'm hoping those are even bigger sale this year because I've kind of nailed down my process for those. I also like that I made a custom breadboard, so that was another 350 bucks on there. And then, like I said, I do have a couple more projects that I've landed, but deposits haven't come in yet. So this week was kind of even. Expense wise, was just my standard expenses, the utilities, heat, my gas, and my rent. So that all came out to $877 a week. So we're pretty close to even, but the next couple weeks are going to be kind of the ones that dictate my profits, and I'll start seeing those go up because, like I said, waiting for those to come in. So highlights and challenges this week. Highlights, we had quite a bit actually. We had Liam and Brendan come back out like they usually do on Wednesday. I had Liam working on sanding the hat racks, getting those ready to final stages. So he got those sanded to 180, and I branded them so they're ready to go into finishing this week. Coming up, we'll be finishing those. So then I'll just be having to wrap them, box them, and they'll be ready to ship, which is great. I don't know why everyone that I bring into the shop loves sanding. Great for me. I don't like it when you do it as much as I have. It just gets monotonous and boring. But everyone that seems they find they can throw on a podcast and they can just sand and kind of tune out, which is Wonderful for me, great for them. I was working with Brennan. We were working on his dog bowl dish carrier thingamajig. This week we were working on the legs, and so I wanted to show him a couple different things. We could easily thrown everything on the CNC, but obviously that's not as much fun for him because he's just watching it. So I taught him a couple different ways of cutting joints and miters, and so we got him using a couple sleds, making sleds, and using templates to set up those sleds. I taught him how to use the miter gauge, just setting to different angles and setting stop blocks and stuff. So he found that awesome. And then I introduced Liam and Brennan both to the domino, and kind of if you've never used one before, it seems like kind of a luxury tool, and it is. Don't get me wrong, but makes processing of joining miters or just joining boards together super simple. So I got them doing that, mitering or getting all the pieces ready to be glued together. So just putting a domino in for a little bit of structural support on those miters, and they loved it. Was super fun. I always have a good time when they come out, and it's always good to be able to just pass on my knowledge to some other people that are really eager to learn. So thanks, boys, for coming out. I'll see you next week. Another awesome thing that happened was, I think I talked about it a couple weeks ago, but one of my previous clients, I had sent 2 tables for their board game store, and they're actually out in BC, and they're actually doing the Terminal City Tabletop Convention. So it's like a big board game convention out in Vancouver, and they got a booth, and they're highlighting my table, and they're being gracious enough. They want to actually highlight me, so they asked me to put together a pricing guide for them or some marketing materials. So I made an awesome pricing guide, just a 1-pager front and back, highlighting all my different styles, the sizes, all my accessories, the different base types, anything with the magnetic gamer, all my accessories that I have for that. So I put that all on a nice little page, sent that off to them, and they're just going to be handing them out to basically my exact targeted audience for people that would want a board game table because they're at a board game convention. And I don't think there's a lot of people that go to a board game convention that aren't interested in board games. So it was kind of a perfect fit. Thank you, Megan at Quest Central. Go check them out if you're in the area or you want to see one of my tables in real life before purchasing it. But very happy. Cannot wait to see the pictures and the stories from that. All right, now we're getting back to the setbacks and challenges. There wasn't too many of them. I mentioned it kind of in the first spot, but that LED table, I did have to rebuild the top portion. Base was fine. Top portion, I had to extend it just so that it actually was diffuse light. So that kind of sucked, but I hammered down and got it done in a couple hours, got it back to where I needed to, and it's looking good now. So it should be going into finishing this week coming up. So turning that setback into a win, but just kind of sucked in the moment, realizing it's like, all this time, have to go redo it all. But the other one, or like challenge or setback, I guess, is that I feel that like I'm not moving fast enough or I'm not getting stuff done fast enough. And I don't know if that's because I'm actually not moving fast enough and not getting stuff done, or if it's just me comparing myself to other people. And it could be a variety. It could be a little bit of both, but it's also hard when I'm working kind of in a vacuum. You're working by yourself. You're only ever seeing the stuff that's on social media. So obviously everyone's putting their best foot forward on there. So it's hard to see what's really happening. And that's what this kind of idea was, to show that other people, that peel back that curtain and show that it's just like, it's not all puppies and rainbows running the small business, that there are setbacks and there are challenges, and it does suck sometimes. It does suck sometimes to be your own business owner, as much as it is freeing. But yeah, I just don't know if it's me that I'm just not moving fast enough, not getting things done, or if I'm just comparing myself to unrealistic goals. But that was just something that I was feeling this week. I think I'm feeling better towards the end of the week because I did get some projects out. I am getting some more orders in, which is nice. But again, it's just something sitting in the back of your brain that you're like, you could always be moving faster. You could always be doing something better. But we're taking it as is, and we're going to be moving into hopefully a better mindset moving into this week. All right, time for recce's. I'm actually flipping the script on everyone this week, and I'm going to ask you, do you have any recommendations? Do you guys have any cool tools you've seen or that you are using? Podcasts, books. I'm always looking for something good to throw into the queue while I'm listening to stuff in the shop. I got 8 to 10 hours a day that I'm in the shop. Just me and my thoughts. Usually I have a podcast or some music going on, so it doesn't necessarily have to be woodworking specific, but it's always nice to just have another person basically in the ear. Feels like there's other people in the shop when there's just kind of a communication going on. Makes the day go a little bit easier. Let me know. Always excited down in the old chat room down there. All right, I think that is going to be everything for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check back next week for the next one. Y'all are beauties. Have a great week. Bye.